This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
Fan.
Want to chime in on what's happening with your favorite KFAN program? Make your voice heard on the Brad, Sean, Brian text line. Let us know what you have to say by texting your message to 64686. That's 64686. Standard message and data rates apply.
Couple 13-14 pass, Common Man program. Common, Tennessee, the legendary Mark Rosen joins us now. Before we dive into a couple of things with Mark Rosen, I should report, Tennessee, that yesterday there was a doubleheader between two college baseball teams who had lost a combined 141 games in a row. Lehman College had lost, I think it was 42 in a row, while Yeshiva University had lost 99 games in a row.
That's a lot.
0 and 40, 0 and 99. The two teams played yesterday in a doubleheader. Lehman won the first game to snap their 0 for 42 or 0 for 41, whatever it was. So Yeshiva went to 100 games lost. The run for 100, they achieved it. However, they won the second game of the doubleheader, so they stopped it at 100. So both teams were able to break their losing streak. So good news for both teams. There is good news in the world of sports. Yes. There is good news sometimes in the world of sports.
There is.
Whoops, excuse me, I just belched. I apologize for that. Two teams snapped their losing streaks. And, of course, Rosen walks in the studio. The first thing he says, he goes, so you really don't want to bet on this Masters stuff? And I go, we are going to bet $5. And he goes, well, why don't you want to go 50?
That's what, because Ted and I were just talking about that. You know more about golf than the two of us combined.
And then I say,
easy money for you.
Well, if not 50, why not 100? Why not 1,000? Why not 50? He goes, that's ridiculous. Well, to me, $5 is even ridiculous.
Well, you don't have to do it for anything.
You don't have to, but then you guys won't feel.
And I like our $5-6 bets.
Actually. I like them.
They're fun.
That's a lot of money. I got two kids I'm putting through school.
Okay, I know. I know the feeling. Been there, done that.
Okay, but you're not doing that anymore now.
Well, and they're never off ever off the payroll.
You and your wife together are probably in the top. Your is greater than.
Oh, don't even start.
100 the GDP of 100 countries across the world.
Don't even start with that. You're making more money here than anyone at the station.
No, I'm not.
Pretty much.
Huh? You have no idea. I'm probably the lowest paid host of all. You know what kind of money Barrero's making?
Oh, I'm sure he's doing quite well.
What do you think PA's making, being the voice of the Vikings?
That's different. The Vikings pay
how
him,
about
too.
How about the Power Trip morning show?
Yeah, a lot of zeros there.
Well, yeah, on the air
I'm not part of that.
On the air and
off the air.
And in the bank accounts.
Right.
That's one of the most popular shows in the country. Don't try to confuse me with their paychecks. Trust me.
Okay. Anyway, well, we'll
do that at about 2:30. We'll get into that.
We'll figure out the format here.
Right now, what I'm. Do you think the Wolves need to fear any team in the NBA playoffs?
they have to fear themselves, as I said a week and a half ago. I know you didn't see any of it last night, and you missed an epic. In the third quarter, which was one of the finest quarters of basketball I've seen this team play all year, DiVincenzo couldn't miss, Nas couldn't miss. I thought Doc Rivers, the coach of the Bucks, I thought the Wolves were maybe 2 baskets away from having Doc Rivers empty the bench and go, you know what, wave the white flag, we'll fight for another night. It was over, Johnny.
Except NBA games are 4 quarters long.
I understand that. Yeah. But I'm just saying that it was, I wouldn't say two baskets away, but it had that feeling that there's nothing that Milwaukee could do to stem this tidal wave of Minnesota basketball the way they were playing it.
Harlem Globetrotters, Washington Generals.
It really was. And it was close enough at halftime, and then they poured it on in the third quarter. And then
put the hammer down.
Doc Rivers decided to try something unique in basketball that I don't know if Chris Finch was aware of. It's called the zone defense. And picked them up pretty much at the logo, at half court. Yeah. And the Timberwolves looked like a JV team that had never seen a zone defense before or knew how to attack
said
it.
The zone that they had is a lot different than AAU.
Well, do you think?
That's what he actually said.
I know. It was... even when they were,
he said he didn't even know. He said he didn't know what they were doing. He'd never seen anything like that before.
Well, okay. We've seen runs before. That's the NBA. I mean, the Wolves had one of those against Oklahoma City for the positive. We know they came back from 24 in the fourth quarter. You saw it even in hockey last night. Was that the Vancouver game? They scored.
Yes, 3 in the last minute.
It's never been done in the National Hockey history of the National Hockey League.
So, I mean, weird things that we saw it in college basketball, the Final Four over the weekend. Not to that extent. But, Duke had the lead, Houston blew a lead, whatever it might be. But this was...
beyond the pale.
Yeah, it was beyond the pale because the Wolves couldn't even come close to not only stopping him, but everything they did was turned into a disaster.
Would you say you saw it? Did Milwaukee try harder?
No, I wasn't trying harder. It was a question of executing.
Because we've used that as an excuse.
Yeah, no.
The other team tried
the Wolves had it. No, I think they probably... mentally checked out a little bit, but I give Milwaukee all the credit in the world. I mean, they're pretty secure where they are. I think they might be jockeying for one position or another in the standings in the East, but nothing dramatic. But I give them all the credit in the world for still trying when you're down by 24 points in the fourth quarter against a team playing at its best as the Wolves were last night. And I don't know how you mentally think to yourself, well, I think I got a good restaurant I want to go to when this is over and have a beer and chill out for the night. And the Wolves just reacted in the worst possible way against that zone defense, and that's where most of the turnovers were just coming on every single possession. It was like watching a made-for-TV movie where the director is going, okay, here's what's going to happen. You guys are going to be. And then you're going to throw the ball away, and people are going to go, come on, that's preposterous. You can't do that. No one would believe the script. Well, it happened last night. And not only did they lose handily. I mean, it wasn't they come down to like a buzzer beater or a 3-point win. And it turns out to be the last minute, Milwaukee won the game going away. It was like watching Secretariat pull away in the Belmont or something. It was like no one could catch him.
And after what you saw last night, you still trust this team to make a run in the playoffs?
Yes, I mean, I believe that
like a switch, they can flip it, right?
Well, it seemed like a switch. I mean, I'm not telling. I said Oklahoma. I mean, I still feel Oklahoma City is going to win the West, and they did nothing to disprove that last night. But they missed. Obviously, the Wolves did a golden opportunity. They would have been in fourth place today had they won that game last night. Now they got to go to Memphis tomorrow night and, shrug your shoulders and
lose that game,
figure out. They might. Maybe they'll come back.
They'll lose.
They all have small. They all have. Early. Their memories get washed away and they figure out a way. And obviously they got 2 pretty much gimmies this weekend.
They do have short memories. They forgot how to win basketball games.
They forgot how to play.
Let me ask you a question. Are you picking Minnesota to beat Memphis?
I don't really have an opinion about it. No, I'm not picking them to beat
the best.
No, you're not.
No.
Yeah, you think they can make a run in the playoffs? Okay.
Well, I think they can. Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's anything that. I mean, obviously you want to, and they still have a lot it's still not over as far as getting into the top 6.
No, it's not.
I mean, they beat Memphis tomorrow night, and they're right back in the thick of it. But they really blew a golden opportunity last night.
Here's the
to be in
problem:
fourth.
Golden State ain't losing, and the Clippers ain't losing.
Clippers, those two teams,
they're not losing.
The Clippers,
they're going to run the table.
Kawhi Leonard has all of a sudden turned into the All-Star that we saw, I don't know how many years ago, 7-8 years ago. He's
when
playing
he
his
came
best
back into the lineup, I told you, watch out for San Antonio.
Well, I mean, watch out for the Clippers.
Clippers.
Yeah. I mean, there's the West is loaded. I mean, we know that. Other than Denver, anyone would want to play Denver right now with the mess that they've created. I think Memphis is definitely beatable. I mean, they got John Morant, and a few other outstanding players. Houston's good, but I think the Wolves can compete against them. Lakers are, I don't know. I don't know what to think about the Lakers. I think they're still missing some big men in the middle. They have to have great games from Austin Reeves, and obviously Doncic has to play out of his mind.
He got tossed out of the game last night.
Yeah, because he yelled at a fan.
Claims to have.
No, he did. That's exactly what happened.
Well, the ref said it was directed towards him.
Well, you could see the video, and he was looking at the fan, and that's what Doncic does often. I've seen it here at Target Center. He engages with the fans. Most of the time, it's kind of good-natured, but he'll trash talk with them, much the way Russell Westbrook will. But I thought the ref, and maybe the ref thought it was like, maybe even thought it was like, you can't do that. Just play basketball. Don't start engaging, and that's worthy of a technical. I didn't get his.
Well, the story I saw said that the ref thought it was directed at him.
No, well, maybe he thought it was.
You're getting ripped.
For what?
Well, hold on. They come in so quickly that they disappear.
Because they ripped the Wolves?
Well, no. Here's what it said. Rosen giving the Wolves the benefit of the doubt because of how close he sits at the games. I'd be curious to hear his opinion if he sat in the nosebleed section. Well, he's just wondering.
What's he talking about?
Well, because you were saying, it's just a game. You still think they're going to make the playoffs, make a deep run. Hey, it kind of happened. You were kind of giving him the benefit of the doubt.
I have no idea what that means.
Well, he's saying because you're
sit in the media section?
Because you're sitting courtside.
I don't sit courtside.
Well,
I sit in the media
what he
section.
wrote. I'm sorry.
It's just people who write. It's like they're trying too hard. It's my media seat, next to. Most of the time when I'm there, I sit next to the same people who cover the game, Britt Robsons and the John Krasinskis and Chris Hines and other people who are there all the time. Those are the people I sit next to, right in the media section, which are good seats.
Really nice seats.
They're very nice seats, but that's where I sit.
What did they have for dinner last night? Oh, they was an away game.
Yeah, I knew. No, they were not here. They play here Friday and Sunday, and that's
What's for dinner? Do you know?
I'm not going Friday night. I don't know.
What are you doing? Oh, you got AC/DC.
No, that's tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah. Hard to keep up.
That's hard to keep up with your jet-setting lifestyle.
Yeah.
You are a jet-setter. You're all
really.
Over the country, man.
No, I'm not.
You going?
No.
You're Palm
What's
Springs.
a Mankato?
Yeah, but you were in Palm Springs not long ago. Kirks and Caicos, or whatever it's called.
Kirks and Caicos.
And Caicos.
Well, I'm trying to keep up with John Creasel.
Then you're up in Cold Spring.
Yeah, Cold Spring. That's a whole
there.
boy. That's an adventure.
Then you're going from the Chanhassen to down to Mankato to see Bobby Dylan to Kowalski's.
I was just there about an hour ago.
And it's available to everyone.
Anybody can go.
Anybody can do it.
Yeah.
I think probably the coolest thing about going to the AC/DC concert is to watch the one-armed drummer while the band's playing. I mean, that would be super cool to watch.
I still can't believe that he is. How can you play the drums after losing an arm?
It's amazing.
It's
astonishing.
It's more than astonishing. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Your Twins club lost a game and maybe lost a player for a while. We'll have to find out. We're still waiting for a word on the MRI. We'll talk to Mark about the Twins next.
When you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself, talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, TalkSpace is here for you. Plus, TalkSpace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to TalkSpace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at TalkSpace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at TalkSpace.com.
Man.
Superior Landscape and Irrigation is celebrating 21 years this Saturday, the 12th, from 9 to 5 at the grand opening of their new showroom in Maplewood. Enjoy free food and chances to win a hot tub, solo stove, grand opening exclusive deals, and a ton more. Find out all the info at KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
Couple 13-14 pastime comedies tend to be he's Mark Rosen. Twins lose again last night. They are 2-1 against the White Sox, and I think now 1-6 against everybody else. Close game. Matter of fact, they out-hit the Royals. I think the Royals only put together like 3 or 4 hits. But worse than the loss itself was Pablo Lopez. I think it was in the 5th or the 6th, 4th, whatever. Felt like something tightened in his leg, and he tried to make a couple of pitches. And turns out to be he has what they're at least calling right now a mild hamstring. He's to undergo an MRI today, and continues to watch the wire to see if we get a result. And we hope it's mild. I hope he doesn't have to miss a start. And maybe he does. Maybe hopefully it wouldn't be more than 1 or 2. And like we talked about, those hammies can be one of those things that can linger and kind of not go away right away. And like Tenant B says, can maybe even, because if you favor that, it might trigger a different injury to another party. And a pitcher obviously uses his legs probably more than just about any. Leg, so and not a good result for him.
No, it's just one more thing. I mean, Royce, this happens going back to Royce Lewis. He does it in spring training, and he's out for weeks and weeks. I mean, whatever we thought was going to be mild, it's not going to take very long. I'm running again. Here we are, and it's been almost a month, I think. And it's just, how much I enjoy, in theory, watching the Twins. I've been watching them my whole life, and in baseball, this is a really hard team to watch right now. Right now. I mean, I know it's where we are in the calendar, but there's not a level of
I think it's been hard to watch for the past 25 years.
Well, you can look at it that way, but I don't look at it that way, because even 2 years ago,
last year you gave up on them.
Well, they gave up on themselves. I didn't give up on them.
I don't think they gave up. They were just terrible.
I didn't give up on them. I signed up for DirecTV for crying out loud.
Yeah, but you told me you stopped watching.
I stopped watching them when they were going in the tank.
Because I watched them to the bitter.
You didn't watch one game.
You're right.
But right now, I mean, even if they, I watched some of the game the other day when they took that 7-1 lead over Houston, and we got some new players getting used to. But there's just not this. I don't know. I don't know when you use the word aura. There just seems like not a lot of pizzazz with this baseball team, and I don't know how much of this is going to fall on Rocco down the stretch and down the run. Because look at I don't know if I don't think they're going to in any hurry to make a move right now. That's just the way it goes. But I don't like what I'm seeing right now from their offense. I mean, that's the thing, because you're not getting any contributions really from, Correa or Buxton in particular. And when those two guys aren't hitting, and looking at the top of their lineup, Buxton, Ryan Jeffers got a hit last night. Larnick, what's he hitting right now? 220 or something? I don't know. I mean, there's no one. Miranda's probably going to get sent down. I mean, I thought he was going to get off to a good start. Wallner's doing okay, but Bader's the one kid that's actually looks like a ball player out there. So you look at their lineup; it's not exactly strike fear in the hearts of anybody. And more importantly, they just, unless Correa starts getting going, he got a couple hits last night finally, so he raised his average to $150. So maybe that'll be the start of something with him. But they're just not a lot of fun to watch right now. I don't know how else to say it. There's not a lot of pizzazz with the team.
last night, they, despite the fact that Lopez left the game, they had an opportunity in the ninth. There were runners on first and third, one out, and one of your three best hitters, or allegedly best players on the team, highest paid player on the team, comes to the plate and hits a new double play to end the game.
That's it.
He had two doubles earlier.
Right.
I did like the final quote in the Fish Wrap Factory West Side. I don't know if you saw it, but he basically, at least he didn't, try to say the sun was in his eye. So they said, I kind of came up on a pitch. I lifted my legs up a little bit. I shouldn't have done it. That's why he goes. That's why I was so mad. And he hit the top of the ball, which drove it into the ground and in a double play. Right. So 2-1 against the White Sox, 1-6 against everybody else. I don't know where they are in the standings. I still think they're above the White Sox, which ain't saying much. And it's early, as you said, but it's still, it just doesn't have a good feel. Yeah, it doesn't have a good feel for
it feels like a continuation of late last year. And until proven otherwise, that's sort of what it is. I mean, they stumbled at the end last year and looked like they were going to win their division. And it's continued this season. I think Aaron Gleeman had a stat. I don't know can't remember what the record was, but other than the White Sox, I think the Twins have had the worst record in baseball from last, September, maybe early October, and then so far this season. That's not a stat you want to occupy, a place you want to be at all. So try again tonight.
I saw where quietly, at least quietly, because that's not front page news, Nico Medved has, is it one or two players he's gotten from CSU?
Two. I think from CSU. They signed another player today, I believe.
Okay, yesterday or the day before, they got a kid from, I don't remember where he played. I don't recall his name. I could look it up, but he was a real solid player wherever he was playing. He was Division I basketball. He had, I think he had 20 plus points in like 23 games. A 6'8" kid. Saw be a junior this year. Really good player, and he committed before even the visit. He'd said, "Yeah, I want to play," but they were going to have him for a visit. And then he called him and said, "I don't need a visit. I want to be there." He did the old. Everything I heard from the coach is what I want to hear. They're doing the things that I want to do in the culture and all that. So whether any of this ends up improving the team's lot in life, at least he's making moves. And for some reason, I feel encouraged, and I don't know why. And it's nothing to do. I had nothing against Ben Johnson or the other kids that played, but it's just that he's, one of the kids for CSU apparently was a really good player or is a really good player. And this other kid, at least I don't know. He seems like he's got a ton of talent. So if you can start to attract those kids, get a few guys here in the state, maybe slowly but surely the team could get at least back to where it's not like you're on the very bottom of the Big Ten.
No, you're right. And it's interesting because normally we associate anytime someone signs with the Vikings or the Timberwolves or the Wild, pretty much their salaries are announced. We know they so-and-so signed a 3-year deal worth, $18 million or whatever it might be. I'm almost surprised we're not at the point yet when, hey, Nico Medved signed so-and-so from Colorado State.
Right.
And he got $750,000 up front, whatever it might be, or $300,000. I mean, that there's going to be an association with dollar amounts because what's happening. I mean, this is the world we live in. You forget about recruiting high school seniors anymore. You've got to go after players. Like I said, there were 1,000 players in the transfer portal, and you have to just try to get a couple to help turn your program around. And he's already made inroads, and unfortunately, I don't think Ben was able to do. And he's keeping a couple of key guys from last year. Asama, the kid from up north, good looking guard. He's coming back, and but that's the name of the game. I mean, we don't know if Dinkytown Sports has got more flush with money or what's happening, but this isn't happening because, hey, I want to go play at Williams Arena. I want to play for the Gophers, which was, the downtrodden Minnesota Gopher basketball team. Or, I'm sure Nico's personality maybe helps and his connections help, but it's about money, really. I mean, that's
the universal language, money.
That's it right now for these kids, for a lot of them. I mean, they're not going to make what, they're making at Duke and Florida and Houston and, some of the other places, but you got to be competitive in the Big Ten.
You're getting ripped. Seriously, Rosen just figured out a Minnesota squad's tough to watch. Has he seen the Wolves? Does he know the Wild have scored 4 goals since Kaprizov was injured? Tell him he can head back to the spa and leave the sports takes to Common. Remember when you did the picture?
I
when you
always
were
loved that.
Oh, yeah.
In the white
I remember.
bathrobe?
Yeah, that was classic. See, I put myself out there.
No, I know
I'm a
you
man
do.
of the people.
You are.
I try to be.
Oh, you do. That's my favorite picture of all time.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It was really good. Let's pause. When we come back, we're going to do a Masters pool. And I know the morning show and everybody's excited.
We had 16 people in here today.
This is way different.
I like this.
The real
format.
golf minds, the people that really do pay attention to the PGA.
Got it.
And we're doing it. We're picking from 4 different columns and putting in. I'm not just picking a winner.
No, I understand.
Trying to pick total
scores.
Total scores, and picking what altogether probably like 10 players that you think will finish. Obviously there's only one winner, but ones where you're not just throwing one name out. You got to go. I think this guy will do different column. It's very controversial. We'll do it next year on the Common Man program on the Fan.
Minneapolis, get ready for Bill Murray and his Blood Brothers. Join them on April 10th at the Orpheum Theater for an epic night of music and fun. Grab your tickets now at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
That sounds like a heck of a concert. I might want to show up with some friends.
Couple 13-14 pastime Common. He's Tennessee, the legendary Mark Rosen here, and it begins tomorrow.
Yes, it does.
It's the 89th playing of the Masters Golf Tournament at Augusta National Golf Club in Augusta, Georgia. Par 3 tournament today, and all the fun and frivolity with that, and then it will be the tournament itself. Tennessee and I have done this pool we used to include listeners on it for a long time, and we would have whoever won or finished second to me. We actually called it the runner-up to the Common Man Masters tournament. Would play golf with Tennessee and I, and then we just gave the whole. It's too much work. There were literally hundreds of entries, and it became too much to.
We didn't have the infrastructure anymore.
Yeah, and the selection committee or the selection committee has already got enough to do when they do the preposterous statement tournament. The way we do this, we have 4 different groups: Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, Group 4. Group 1 has what you would consider your favorites, the golfers that are most of them are ranked in the top 50 in the world, except for the live guys. They're falling now, but it was interesting. They asked John Rahm yesterday. He's down to like 80th, and because live players, they don't get any points.
Don't get points, no.
For winning. It was interesting. They said to John Rahm during his Masters interview, they said, you're ranked 80th in the. He goes, where you are, you're dropping the world rank. He goes, where am I ranked? I don't even know. He goes, 80th.
Oh, okay.
Then they asked him. They said, where do you think you should be ranked? And he paused. I just love it, though. He goes, well, I'm not going to put a number on it, but I'd say I think I'm top 10 in the world. And there's no question when he's playing his best, he's top 10 in the world. He could be top 5. He could, if he was still on tour, I think he would be challenging Scheffler for the number 1 player in the world, I think. I think he's that good. But those are the people we have.
Well, I base them all off of betting odds.
Okay.
So Group 1 is all players that are 30 to 1 or under.
Okay.
Group 2 is all 30 to 1 to 100 to 1. Group 3 is 100 to 1 to 200 to 1. And then anything over 200 to 1 odds is in Group 4.
Okay. So we have, I understand.
And now we pick 2 from Group 1.
We can take the same golfers, right? I mean,
Sure. Yeah. We're all going to pick 10 golfers.
You pick 2 from Group 1.
Okay.
3 from Group 2. 3 from Group 3.
Right.
2 from Group 4.
And
go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, we were talking about how we're going to do the standings and the scoring.
Yes.
So I would say if your golfer takes first, you get 1 point. If your golfer takes 12th, you get 12 points. And if your golfer misses the cut, they go 50. The Masters, it's 50 plus ties.
Right.
So I just say we go 75 if your guy missed the cut. So you get a little bit of
So we're
knock
trying to get
against
the
you.
lowest number.
So you want the lowest, just like golf. You want to have the lowest number of them all. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
I think
so. You guys are both. You'd bet if the sun was going to come up in the east or the west. That's the way you guys live. You guys want to go. You guys want to go big money. I'm willing to budge a little bit. I'll go $20 if you guys would. Oh my God!
Really?
It's the Masters. I'm going to live a little.
All right.
I'd like to go higher, but we
I
can go
know
20.
you both do. You'd like to
we got you 20.
You wish you were on that morning show thing doing the $200 because I've got big money. You guys have big money. I don't.
Okay.
So let's. Would you be? Is 20?
That's rich for you.
Tenneby?
$20 sounds great.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Let's do 20.
Winner gets 20.
Winner
will get 40 because we're going to get 20 from each.
Correct.
Okay. Well, do you want to make it 25 so it's an even 50? I mean, I want to help. I want you guys to have some interest. Well, I want you guys to have some interest in it.
I'm interested in either way.
I'm
25. I got to stop at the bank and get smaller bills.
Okay, then we'll do 20.
Just do 20.
Or let's do 1,000 then.
Okay.
That might be a little rich for me.
Quite too rich for me.
Yes.
Okay, let's go ahead and do 20. So
how are we
who's going to go? We're going to rotate, or what are we going to do? Because I don't want you guys copying my picks. That's the thing. I already know people.
Well, I'll go first then if you don't want me copying your picks. I've got all my picks already set up.
I have mine. Oh, you do? You're not going to change when you hear mine?
No, I never change based
I'm
on
not going to change.
Okay. Yeah, I think I can see you both over there.
I think you'll actually get mad if I go first and then I steal one of your guys.
Yeah.
And then get mad at me.
Well, there's going to be some duplication.
I think there'll be some duplication. So, Tenneby, who are you taking? No, we're just going to do group one each.
Yeah, group one. Yeah, we each get 2 picks in group one. I'm going to go with the guy you were just talking about. I think John Rahm is going to win this tournament.
Wow.
Obviously, a disappointing 2024 for him, but he's rounding into form this year on the LIV Tour. 5 consecutive tournaments where he's finished in the top 10. Clearly, he's been successful at Augusta before, having won this tournament. Just 2 years ago, he has 5 top 10 finishes at Augusta. And I think he's going to be motivated because he had the bad year last year after moving to LIV. I think he wants to prove to everyone he is still seen after he's kind of disappeared from the limelight a little bit. So I'm taking John Rahm. I think he's going to win this tournament.
Be nice to see him.
My second one, maybe a little off the board here. I'm going to go Justin Thomas.
Ooh,
man,
JT.
Another guy who had a challenging 2024, but he's seemingly figuring it out. 4 top 10 finishes, including 2 runner-up finishes. And his stats are all good. 8th on the tour in strokes gained, 8th in approach to green, 1st in putting average. His biggest weakness is probably his driver, but you can get away with a leaky driver at Augusta. So I'm going to go JT. I think he's going to step it up this tournament.
All right. Who want me to go next?
Sure.
Go ahead, Rosen.
Well, since I couldn't take him this morning because he's the ghost, where he's not allowed to be a part of a participant in our pool. So it's pretty hard not to take Scotty Scheffler as one of them.
You don't feel forced to, do you?
No, not at all. I don't feel forced to. But I am going to go second with the guy I did end up taking 4th overall, and I know Rory's out there. This just in, he's got a great chance maybe to finally win his Grand Slam. But I'm going to go with Colin Morikawa because I think he is Mr. Steady at Augusta, and I took him this morning. I'm taking him again, so I'm going to ride with Colin. So Scheffler and Morikawa for my first 2 picks.
Oh my gosh! Can't get above average at that. I'm going to go with John Rahm.
Ooh.
Not for any of the reasons Tenneby did. I just think when a guy says, I'm a top 10 player in the world, let's go play. And from a number of the things Tenneby said, I mean, Koepka, he's another guy I considered. Koepka said, I've been preparing for the Masters since December.
All he cares about.
So all these guys, that's all they care about. Rahm, Scheffler, DeChambeau, and they're the ones that they play for the majors now. And then I'm going to take Scheffler as well. And I'm going with the favorite. Well, we're taking a risk. Well, the reason I am is because he's won there twice. He can shape the ball either way. You have to be able to shape the ball at Augusta National. You got to be able to hit it left. You got to be able to hit it right. It's a second shot golf course. He's the best iron player in the world. He and Morikawa when their game is on, especially. Scheffler, his problem is sometimes the putter gets balky. If it gets balky, he's in trouble. If it doesn't, I think he's going to.
Well, when it gets balky, then he takes 8th place instead of 1st.
Well, that's exactly right. So I'm going to take Scheffler and John Rahm. So I have one of each of your guys's. So we're all different there, so that's good.
All right.
Should we let Rosie start on this one?
Yeah, why don't you go to
Group 2? So these are the players that are 30-1 to 100-1 odds. We're going to take 3 of them.
Okay, I'm going to go with first guy on the list, Hideki Matsuyama, who's, again, a steady player at Augusta. He's won once, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And it seems like every time you turn the TV on over the weekend, he's in the leaderboard. So I don't expect him to necessarily win it, but I'll take him. The other 2 guys, I think he's had success at Augusta. Russell Henley, and the third one would be Sepp Straka. I considered Min-Woo Lee, but I'm going to go with Henley and Straka, who are both, I think, really. I can compete at the highest level here at Augusta. So I'll go with those 3 guys: Matsuyama, Henley, Straka.
My turn.
Your turn, yeah.
Patrick can't play, or I mean, can't lay, he's not going to win. He never wins.
Mm-hmm. But he finished top 10.
But he's always in the hunt.
You want to
and because of the way this tournament that we're doing here, our little contest here is conducted, I will say Patrick Cantlay, I think he'll have a top 10 finish. Shane Lowry, love Shane Lowry, love his attitude, love his game. He loves Augusta National. I'm not sure his game is quite, not to say that the guys from across the pond can't play. The more what you might describe as Parkland-style courses, they all grew up playing the ball low to the ground, but, at this point they can play any course anytime. I like Lowry's won one major. Again, guys that have a major under their belt, it's not as much pressure. God, I really need to establish I want to be a guy that's won a major. He's won it. And then I'm going to take, left-handers always do well there. Left-handers are good. Mickelson's won 3 times. Bubba Watson's won there a couple of times. Mike Weir has won there. I'll take Akshay Bhatia to win there.
He's fun to watch.
He's a good player.
Weighs like 110 pounds.
He's been playing well all year. He's had a nice start to the season. I don't think he's won yet. He may have won once this year. I don't recall. But he generally plays well, so I'll take those 3. Tenna?
I'm going to go with Cameron Smith for my first choice. Ooh. He won the Open back in 2023, and I feel like ever since he went to LIV, people have kind of forgotten about him a little bit. He doesn't get a whole lot of discussion, but has done really well at Augusta. Tied for 6th last year. He has 5 top 10s and 8 appearances. Has a 2nd, a 3rd, a 5th. His short game, his putting are elite, so I think that's why he does well at Augusta. I'm going to take a guy that I know you're going to rip, Common. That would be Will Zalatoris. He has competed in 3 Masters total, and he's finished top 10 in all 3.
He's very good.
And I know he hasn't been spectacular this year, but he has been pretty consistent. He's made every single cut this year.
And he had one tournament where he was there, I think, until late in the 4th round. He was right there.
Yeah, he's finished in the top 50 in every tournament this year. So he is 10th on the tour right now in proximity to the hole on approach shots. So we know that's important at Augusta as long as you get the putter going. And then I'm going to take Corey Connors, who's in pretty good form right now. 3rd at the Arnold Palmer, 6th at the Players, 8th at Valspar. He has 3 top 10s and 7 trips to the Masters. He's a very good ball striker, accurate off the tee, and hits greens in regulation, which you want at Augusta.
I think those are some nice picks.
Really? I thought you didn't like Zalatoris.
No, I was more I just don't think he's going to do well this year. I just call it a hunch, but no, those are nice picks. My turn.
You get to lead Group 3, which is Players 100-1 to 200-1 odds.
Oh, we'll take the guy right on the top, Brian Harman. He just won last week. He's won a major. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He likes when people. He's a lot. He and I are a lot the same, other than our golf game. He's really good. I'm really bad, but he's a guy that he likes when people doubt him. And he's a left-hander, so I'll take Brian Harman. Lucas Glover. I have 44, 45 years old, won a U.S. Open back in 2012. Again, he's at the stage of his career where for an older gent, he's played very well this year. He's played very well the last couple of years. He's had, he's got a lot of talent is what I'm saying. And I'm going to take Lucas Glover. And then I'm going to take the North Dakota kid, Tom Hoagie. Again, Hoagie has been playing well as of late. And I think wasn't he in the, he was never in the hunt, but I think he's had a nice finish at the Masters either last year or the year before, I thought. If I'm wrong, I'm not going to change my mind. I'm going to take Tom Hoagie. Those are my 3, Harman, Glover, and Hoagie.
All right, I'm going to go with Justin Rose for one of my 3 picks. He's been either brilliant or brutal this year. 6 starts, 3 missed cuts, but he also has 2 top 10 finishes. He did pretty well at the majors last year. He had a 2nd and a 6th in the majors last year. Finished at the top 10 in the Masters 6 times in his career. Just something about Augusta brings the best out of Justin Rose. So I'm going to take Rose. I'm also going to take a guy I usually would avoid taking, but Billy Horschel.
Oh, Billy Horschel.
He quietly had a good majors run last year with 2 top 10 finishes. He's coming off a 4th at the Valspar, and he also was on the winning TGL team this
That's
year.
What matters.
He's on a roll.
I feel like he's playing well. So I'm going to go with Billy Horschel. And then the other one, a guy who probably can't win this tournament, but I think maybe he'll make the cut and finish a little bit higher. I'm going to go Keegan Bradley. He's actually, ever since being named Ryder Cup captain, it seems like he's played some of his best golf. He won the BMW last year.
It's a good pick.
He's made every cut this year, took 5th at the Arnold Palmer. And I just think he's going to have patrons on his side chanting USA as he's walking down the fairway. I think it's going to boost him up a little bit.
I had considered taking Lori Cantor, but I don't think a woman's ever won at Augusta National Golf Club in the Masters before, so that's why I decided not to. Anyway, sorry. Your turn now, Rosen.
All right, I'm going to go with Cam Young, who's had some good finishes in
got talent.
major tournaments. He's only 27. He's been around.
He's spurned me too many times before. I've bet on him before.
But I'm just kind of hoping
he's a tease.
Yeah, he can be, but he's. I think
Rosen loves him.
His top finish in the Masters was 7th.
Oh, he'll be in the mix on Saturday, and Rosen's going to be proud of his pick, and then he's just going to fall apart.
You're getting what? Why don't you guys make an individual?
Why would you?
Because he does that every time I bet on him. I'm done betting on him.
On Cam Young? Oh,
yeah.
Well, you don't have to. You're not.
I'm not. Yeah.
I'm also taking, and I have him checked, so I'm not like, because it was a big week for Florida. Well, I am Billy Horschel.
Okay. And you're taking Hoagie.
Yes.
And it's just because you recognize his name.
No, because he's one of us, kind of.
Wow.
But Horschel is...
Got to do the homer pick.
Horschel is Florida, and Florida's had a big week, winning the national championship. I think he wore...
That's good logic.
Wore their colors this week at practice, so I'll go with Cam Young.
Why not go with Larry Mize? He's from Augusta. He's won.
Because he's 90 years old. Billy Horschel
72.
and Hoagie Bun. He's been playing well. I was watching him last week on was it the Valspar tournament? He was right in the
he was in the hunt to the very end.
He was.
Group number 4 is it 10 to be starting again?
Yes, I'm starting. This is players that are 200 to 1 or more, and I got the value bets of all value bets right here.
Wow.
I'm going to go with the guy.
Right?
I'm going to go with the guy who has won 5 times on the PGA Tour, including a win in the Sony Open back in January. He's currently ranked 31st in the world golf rankings. His stats are good. 29th on the tour in strokes gained, 9th in approaches to the green, 4th in greens in regulation,
research
25th in scrambling, and yet I can get him in this final group. Nick Taylor. I'm going with Nick Taylor.
Ooh, Nick Taylor.
For one of my picks, and my other pick, this one's going to be a wild card here. It's Jose Luis Ballester. He's a rookie. He won the Spanish Amateur in 2020. He won the European Amateur in 2023, and he won the U.S. Amateur here at Hazeltine last summer. Only 2 starts on tour, but he did have a tied for 17th at the Mexico Open. So I will go with Jose Luis Ballester.
2, right?
2,
yeah,
yes,
okay.
just 2.
All right, my first pick is Chris Kirk. I've done a lot of research on
Chris. Captain Kirk is what we call him.
Captain Kirk. Actually, he's had 2 top 25 finishes at Augusta, so I couldn't tell you one more thing about him.
Okay.
But his name is Chris Kirk, and he's had some finishes, so that's what we're looking for. And then the other one I'm taking is Jonathan Vegas.
Oh.
Who's, established.
They call him Viva.
Viva
Las Vegas.
Yeah, so those 2. I was looking at Bubba, and I thought, Bubba's fun to watch.
He's got no chance. He won't make the cut.
No, I don't think he is. I'll go with Vegas.
I'm going with a guy named Christian.
Bless you.
Who was that again?
Bless you.
And then I'm going to go with Nico Echeverria. Echeverria is he's got a ton of talent. He's finished top 5 in at least 1, if not 2 or 3 events this year. Now, some of those events, the lesser players are playing. The guys, sometimes,
right.
The Johnny, or not Ron, but the Scotty Schefflers and some of the others aren't playing in those events, but still he plays very well. So I'll take those 2. So there we go.
There you go. Good luck.
$20
and
on the line.
And how about this? Can we all asterisk this? If any of the guys I picked win the par 3 tournament today, can I please change? Because anybody who wins the par 3 tournament never does well.
Wins.
Never wins and never does well at the Augusta National. Who is winning right now?
I have no idea. I saw a couple some of the highlights of.
Well, there's been a couple of hole-in-ones. There always are in the because a number of people
kids are playing.
A number of people have texted me to say there's been some. I think Hoagie had a hole-in-one today.
Oh, did he?
That's what
my guy Keegan Bradley, who I just picked, got a hole-in-one.
Yeah, he had a hole-in-one. I think there were 2 or 3. So So there you go.
I don't know how current this is because I just Googled this, but your guy, Nicholas Echevarria, finished with a 5 under today. He's tied for the lead of the JJ Spahn, who's 5 under through 8. So looks like your guy might win it.
No.
And Bubba is tied for 3rd at -3.
Yeah.
Well, Bubba will at least get 1 victory this weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go. I'm kind of excited about it.
Well, Masters is always fun to watch.
Yeah, it's my favorite tournament of the year. These are the best 4 days in golf.
Best 4 days in sports.
Sports. Day 4, day 3,
Better
day
than
2, and day 1.
Day 3 of the NFL draft? Oof. That's a tough call.
Yeah, it is.
That's in a couple of weeks.
Boy, time flies when you're having fun. It was so good to see you again. You'll be back tomorrow. Today's Wednesday, right?
Talk Masters again tomorrow.
We'll see you Thursday at 2 o'clock.
Yes,
Kennedy, thanks for having me.
Hey, great job.
You as well. We really sincerely enjoyed visiting with you today. We'll be back again tomorrow at 12 noon. Stick around. Big Ticket and JG. They're next, right here in the Fan.
Oh, boy.
I'm a fraud.
Yes.
Good night. Good morning. Good afternoon. And good night, Minnesota.
And good night, folks. And good night, Mrs. Calabash. Wherever you are.
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.